That's a professional wrestling.
That's the Intercontinental Championship right there.
Let me tell you about the World Economic Forum. The cream's gonna rise to the top. Yakarino was Italian for woman. Shut the fuck up.
I just set him up. That's what I did. Wind him up. The Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
I'm Yakarino. Welcome to Warrior. At the end of that, though, she did do a little. She has the Hogan stash. Bleaching it doesn't work, sweetheart.
Now, but really, she has no worldview. She has no values. You can tell. And, you know, Dennis Miller says, someone of that age, you've lived an asshole's life.
Yes.
You haven't thought about such things. She just floats from one side to the other. She doesn't care. Now she's working for Twitter. She'll develop some worldview that'll be comfortable for her there. I mean, unbelievable how she's...
Although she does seem to have a worldview, this is very disconcerting, on the idea of freedom of speech. And this goes to the point that we made earlier. You understand there's a huge gap and a difference between the advertisers, the woke corporations with the ESG scores, and you, the viewer, the user. And I really was happy. By the way, some people were reaching out going, Twitter's going to do, going to do streaming. Is that bad for Rumble? No, I want streaming on Twitter. He may or may not end up streaming on Rumble. I want him to do well, and I want Twitter to do well, and I want Rumble to do well. I want everyone to do well, not named YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Just to be clear, there need to be viable alternatives. Yeah. We lived through the dark ages where everyone said, well, you just have to go to YouTube. And now the vast majority of you watch on Rumble or on Mug Club. That, to me, and by the way, we were willing to take a 50% haircut on viewership in migrating everyone over from YouTube.
OVA, morning.
You guys increased. That shows how ready you were for an exodus. So I want all these places to do well. A little concerned of the direction of Twitter, though, because here is this woman discussing her views on free speech. And again, she talks about not the user, not what you, the people, want, what the giant advertising corporations want.
If I were to say, yes, you can influence me, that would be wrong. That would be very wrong. That would be a diminishment of freedom of speech.
But I want to be specific about influence. It's more of an open feedback loop for the advertising experts in this room to help develop Twitter into a place where they will be excited about investing more money. Product development, ad safety, content moderation.
Yeah, because that's how you're going to create the best platform. Is with a group of advertising executives deciding to sanitize it and shape it in the image of what they would like to see. A bunch of multimillionaires in a room at a board meeting. That's what's going to make Twitter the cool place that kids want to go.
Yeah, pharmaceutical company.
Yes, exactly.
I'm sure what they want is what the Pope said. And her policy was at NBC Universal.
Yes, exactly. I want a Johnson & Johnson social media site.
She basically, I mean, that's actually making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, because Elon Musk was right. If I allow you to influence me, that would be wrong, because then that would diminish freedom of speech, which is what I'm all about. And she's like, well, hold on, don't think about it like that. And then she describes the diminishment of freedom of speech in a different way and says, does get it. Right. She understands exactly what she's saying. Content moderation for ad-friendly. Make it into a place they feel comfortable.
Few companies that, just to give you some inside baseball here. Matter of fact, we can include on Mug Club why the left is upset.
Yeah.
Just to give you a little bit of inside baseball. First, let me go to the difference between Turkish government, Twitter, and Rumble. Though. But I think this is pretty important. This is what we lived through with YouTube, by the way. And this is why I am so vehement in the fact that the right needs to be. They need to divest. They need to uncouple from big tech companies. And I don't care how you do it. Is when you have, let's say, five companies basically are in charge of all media, right? You have NBC Universal, you have ABC Disney, you have Comcast, Viacom, News Corp. Let's call it five. Into your news feed, in Facebook, on YouTube. Guess what? They spend the advertising dollars. So now you have a platform that is beholden to 5 or 6 companies who, by the way, have regular meetings in a room with each other. It doesn't require a crazy conspiracy theory to say, hold on a second, this
11:20 here.
Conversation with CEOs. I should say, sorry, executives at YouTube. And they said, well, you know, there's no community guidelines, but strikes. And we would say, oh, you're not advertiser friendly, but we're creating this new rule, borderline content. I said, hold on a second, you are talking to an advertiser on YouTube. They said, what? I said, it's one of the only places that I spend money to advertise our channel. Hey, subscribe to my channel. I said, and I can actually target or reach people who I would like to reach. For example, I would like to reach people who are interested in the Second Amendment. And by the way, I would like to be able to determine who advertises on my channel. I said, would this be a solution to YouTube? They said, not advertiser friendly. I said, well, what about firearm companies? Well, we can't do that. Okay, well, what about companies that might sell firearm accessories? No. Okay, what about companies that may be, for example, particularly freedom-minded? Well, those companies don't exist. Hold on a second. How about you create a solution where you pair my... How it works. It's a rigged game. And so when someone is saying the people who are rigging the game need to be granted more power, that's a problem. And it's very clear with this lady's language that that's what she's interested in doing. And also, just to be clear, there's another misstep with Twitter that I'm concerned with. Son of a bitch. I completely forgot about that one. Good for you, Tim. He didn't. He drank his coffee this morning. So, at the behest of the Turkish government, and I think Elon has largely been a positive force, certainly for Twitter. But Twitter agreed to restrict access to some tweets from the Turkish government at their request during the presidential election. And this is actually a quote responding to online criticism from Matt Iglesias. Musk tweeted, "Did your brain fall out of your head, Iglesias? The choice is have Twitter throttled in its entirety or limit access to some tweets. Which one do you want?" Now, this is important because we have a direct contrast. And again, I would love to see Twitter do well, and I would love to see Rumble do well. But people are asked, you want to know why we partnered with Rumble? And you want to know what excites me with Rumble? If you have kids, they should leave, okay? Because I'm just going to... It's like Donald Trump is this with the vote. It's the fuck you platform. So when Elon Musk says, he's basically saying, I was just doing my job. You said you would kill me less. Well, are you stupid? Did your brain fall out of your head, Iglesias? The choice is to have Twitter throttled in its entirety or limit access to some tweets. Which one do you want? Rumble had that exact same scenario. Yeah. They were demanded by France to remove Russia Today as a channel or any of its content from their platform, and they said, okay, well, then you're just going to have to remove Rumble as a platform. They issued a statement saying recently the French government demanded that we remove certain Russian news sources from Rumble. As part of our mission to restore a free and open internet, we have committed not to move the goalposts on our content policies. Yeah. So one response from Elon Musk, what would you have us do? Exactly what Rumble did. Rumble said, all right, the French government, how about that? Okay, how about, I'm sorry, this and this. That's what Rumble said. And as a consequence, Rumble was banned at least for a period of time. You cannot set the precedent. Do you have any idea what that's going? You're countering to the Turkish government. What's going to happen with China?
Yeah, exactly. By the way, this is during an election season. Like, you don't do what the government wants you to do in a tight election. No. It means censoring certain points of view just because you think a little bit of Twitter is better.
Mean.
No, it's not.
I didn't know everybody was mean.
A little bit of Twitter makes you think that there is honesty.
Right.
If you've got Twitter still there, you're thinking, okay, well, Twitter's still the free speech platform.
That's right.
I didn't hear the story about them banning these couple of accounts or maybe these dozens of tweets maybe that are...
I mean, a lot of people troll each other. It's usually it's in
but I'm not.
In
it's where
jest.
we are today. It is the blueprint.
Morning, Gregory.
Blueprint for censorship. Golly, did I have a stroke? Did I Joe Biden?
Maybe did.
I don't know. I just think you should have some Twitter.
Yeah, I think you should have some Twitter.
Maybe. What do we do?
And Texas is bigger than France anyway.
Yeah,
no, they
exactly.
really don't. They don't matter. It's not enough people to matter.
France?
No, they don't matter. They don't matter.
They're too busy drinking wine and eating cheese.
No, they'll come begging for Twitter.
Rumble.
Rumble.
Yeah, they still have
begging for Rumble, and yeah, of course it's
look, you can't do this. You can't counter these other governments. And I understand what some of you are going to say, like, well, hold on a second, Russia Today is partially funded by the Kremlin, Russia propaganda. Okay, sure, but again, the point of view from Rumble is also anti-Russia Today channels are allowed on Rumble.
Right.
It's an open discourse. What's more damaging than myths, lies, or mistruths are half-truths. And that's what Twitter is doing with, I'm using the word correctly, being in collusion.
I mean, from what I've seen, for the most part, it's all
it doesn't just exist.
I mean, you have serious
we have
trolls that
precedent.
attack the auditors and stuff, but
And Elon Musk is already starting from the point of
those
view
are just
of,
your bootlickers
well, what
and
do you
stuff,
want?
but,
Some
yeah,
Twitter
mostly,
or no Twitter? I think as it relates to Turkey, they get no Twitter. How about
maybe
that?
I'm blind to it, or it doesn't bother me that much. I don't see it that much.
You don't allow freedom for everyone, then you get no Twitter. That needs to happen enough where these governments then understand, hold on a second, we can't just keep calling the shots. Do you have any idea how many tweets that I have or did for a long time that are not available in Germany because it's in violation of German speech laws?
Or Pakistan. Maybe
Pakistan.
Positively would I hang you up
I just
there.
think Pakistan should have no Stephen Crowder Twitter. You can follow me at SCrowder. Let me know if in Pakistan you did any of it. I would be very surprised.
But basically, look, if Twitter had taken a stand, Elon, look, this is the playbook. If you take a stand in Turkey and say, no, we're not self-censoring, either the government backs down and you win, free speech wins, or you get banned and the people see it in broad daylight.
Exactly.
That their government is banning speech, and maybe that leads to change in the government, not the appeasement strategy that you just put in play.
Right. That's absolutely. And I think that combined with the fact that this woman is very clearly more interested in creating Twitter and social media platforms and the new world, because let's be honest, that's where people often live. That's where people exchange information. It's a digital town square. She wants to rebuild that in the image of what advertisers want as opposed to what you, the user, the viewer wants. You are true north. You are true north. The moment that you say, you know what, we're done, hey, I'll go retire and I'll go do something else. We've talked about this.
morning, Peachy. Dude. Got me some nuggets, some free nuggets today, so I stopped.
Click it, and you get to continue watching the show every day, another 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how long the bathroom break is for Bob Strider, who has the prostate the size of a grapefruit. YouTube, not thank you, but Rumble, thank you. YouTube piss off, powered by Rumble. We'll continue this.
Holy crap. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You too. That's quick. Drove around the whole drive-through just to park for 2 seconds. Sweet.
I'm just seeing this story right now. The IRS whistleblower removed from the Hunter Biden investigation, so it seems like it's a retaliatory thing that's going on. Do you guys know much about that? Maybe our researchers can get that. I know it's on CNN, so it must be news.
Well, let's do it.
We'll see if there's a little bit. Go ahead.
On the House Ways and Means Committee, who say they want to hear more context from the IRS commissioner about what exactly is going on here. And Sarah, I think you can look at this two ways. I mean, there is one argument to make that, this is retaliation against a whistleblower who wants to share information with Congress. There's another argument to make that one who clearly wants to speak out publicly about an ongoing criminal investigation, when there have been alleged leaks in some of these right-wing media outlets, and you can't compromise the underlying federal criminal investigation. So
I think what you meant to say there is that whistleblowers are protected and they can speak whenever they want, and this is a retaliatory firing. I thought that was the whole thing about having whistleblower status, is that you could be protected from your employer firing you, or some kind of sanctions being placed on you.
Can't work any other way.
Like, I don't think you can then go, well, because we don't like the information that's being released right now, and because there's an ongoing criminal investigation. Yeah, we know how those go. There was an ongoing criminal investigation into Hillary Clinton for email handling. We heard that from Comey. Nothing there. Sorry about that. Whoops, my bad. We know how those things end. You're supposed to be a whistleblower or not. Steven just came in. Yeah.
It seemed to end very quickly when the whistleblowers came.
Exactly, right. And I got,
wasn't there a Marine or guy in the Army? I think so recently.
Yeah.
He was like arrested immediately.
It was kind of a big deal. The cameras were already there. The perp walk was, set up. All the news agencies.
Yeah, it was a major.
Informed about that. Yeah.
Something like that.
And, well, it was a lower level guy.
Yeah.
Who had access to a lot of information that people didn't want out there.
They didn't get a point to put it away.
The IRS whistleblower for the Hunter Biden investigation, the whistleblower, protection applied to whistleblower, was fired.
This just come in?
Yeah, by the IRS. It was on TV. I pulled it up.
Can someone read it?
What? No. It was.
I got you, Aiden.
And so I was like, hey, go to them real quick.
I love how everything in this Durham report
Thanks,
is
more.
anonymous and speculation,
Yeah.
but they immediately knew who blew the whistle on Hunter Biden and fired
Well, yes.
for like finding Ashley Biden's diary in the ditch.
Thereby confirming its legitimacy. Oh, good. You care about this?
What was that movie? Oh, I thought you said that he had the info. So the whistleblower was.
So it looks like the whistleblower was fired, let go. I don't know. I don't want to use the wrong terminology there, but I just kind of caught it in the middle of the story. And they said, yeah, you could look at this one of two ways. One, yes, this is a retaliatory thing, but I don't know. Possibly because it's an ongoing investigation, they don't want this person continuing to talk about it. I'm like, what? The whole whistleblower thing is set up so that doesn't happen.
You can't replicate it.
He has 87,000 new agents coming in to take his place.
Well, that's we got something for you.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so today the Internal Revenue Service IRS Criminal Supervisory Special Agent, the representative was informed that he and his entire investigative team are being removed from the ongoing and sensitive investigation of the high-profile controversial subject, which our client sought to make whistleblower disclosures to Congress.
Oh, okay, so he's not fired, he's just been removed, so he doesn't have any of the information.
So the message is loud and clear.
Downsized.
If you're Russia's TMZ equal, give us a bunch of preliminary investigation evidence and whistleblow of current goings on, not only with Hunter Biden, but of course the affiliation with, I don't know if you know, the former Vice President of the United States, with international business deals. You will be punished for the world to see. So then what they do is they set up a rule that, this is the whistleblower department. Yeah. What's your political leaning? Well, why are you writing that down? No reason. So you're Russian? Did you do tabloid? No. Oh, okay. What's your name? Steven. Okay. And I see your voting history. So you sure you want to blow the whistle?
Yeah.
Then people don't come forward.
Well, do you like your job?
Do you like your job?
No,
Are you fond of it?
Yeah.
Would you like to keep that job?
I know you have a nice corner office over there, executive management. That's kind of a nice perk. Hate to lose that.
Yeah. I see you have a Japanese toilet. It'd be a shame if that thing decided to spread the dance called it not. But you are quite good at blowing giant loud whistles. Am I hearing this correctly?
Whistle!
It's not, do you live in a free society if you have laws? Are the laws applied equally? I don't think we need to do that.
Well, let me just sum it up for you, right?
She's liked some tweets and followed some right-wing figures. Who gives a shit?
No, she doesn't like ERC, which is good. Push back on that a little bit. Right? That'd be fantastic. I would like for you to make that a little bit more of the point, instead of suppressing speech and making advertisers the people who are the people in control.
Again, people on the right are upset over what she says, her actions, what she has laid out as her plan. People on the left are upset that she has liked tweets or followed profiles with whom they disagree, so they call her mom. Their standard, right, when they say, oh, we need to come together, we say, well, hold on a second, I don't like the fact that she said we need to build Twitter in the image of advertising, giant advertising. So the left says, yeah, but we don't like the fact that she liked a tweet which supported the Republican Hispanic candidate, Mayra Flores. That makes her a fascist. So, different standards.
Also, she's a Christian, apparently, because she liked to tweet about...
Oh, please say you did. That would be hilarious.
How dare she? How dare she?
Well, according to Google, Easter doesn't exist.
For crying out loud, dude. That doesn't mean she's a Christian. Jews You don't have to celebrate it, but you have to acknowledge that it's way more fun than Hanukkah. All right?
Being in South America and Christmas is in the middle of summer and it's like 105 degrees. That doesn't make any sense.
Can you imagine being in Germany where Krampus comes down your chimney and whisks the children away? Leave it to the Germans. By the way, not only Krampus, Santa was a dick too. Well, Santa would give you a beating. Santa would beat you with a switch if you were bad. It wasn't just like, you're like, oh, that's fair.
Have you been a good boy?
Have you been?
I'll take my coal.
Imagine that. Going to the department store. Gerald, come here.
Come and see here.
Have you been a good boy this year, Gerald?
No, 9.
I heard that in your coloring book you colored outside of the lines. Why is the doggy yellow, Gerald? Dalmatians are white and black. Why would you draw? Did this Dalmatian pee all over himself? I'm colorblind. I'm going to get the switch. And then when I'm through with you, I make room for a spectre far worse than myself. Krampus, you're like, you double dip on beating my ass?
What is Krampus? Is that the...
Krampus? You didn't see Krampus?
That's hilarious.
Krampus is a demonic figure who takes the children away.
Really?
Yes.
Like bad kids on Christmas.
Yes.
Taken away by...
If you hit your brother with a wiffle ball bat, you will be the victim of child abduction.
By a demon.
By a demon.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. You've not been a good boy. Have you seen Hereditary, Gerald? Child's play to what Krampus will do to you. Thanks. Nothing like spreading some Christmas cheer. Shut up. Nick! I have to drink so much because I'm talking.
Yeah.
My mouth gets so dry, and I try and hydrate in the morning. And I think that 8 glasses of water a day is
Is it?
I do way more than that. In the morning, I'm already 8 glasses in. So what we're going to...
People do be crazy, that's for sure.
By the way, that was recorded on a shotgun mic in 2015. So, yeah, I need an update. But you know what? It's quaint.
Yeah.
Now, and you used to watch when I was in Michigan. You used to watch and play along.
I always loved Hipsters Hobo.
It's a fun game. It's
I
also
don't seem to be able to discern, though, but
it's very hard.
yeah.
Generally speaking, if they have a fixed gear bicycle,
Pixie.
that means hipster. The fact that you said that makes me hate you.
No, I was on a bicycle
He's a cyclist.
one time and a guy. Yes, it's a cycling thing that happened, and we were going very fast, and a guy with a fixed tee rode with us and was like just basically shaming all of us.
What?
Pretty much.
He beat you guys?
He kept up with us, which is very hard to do with a single gear.
Good for him.
He was an animal on a bike. That means he'd get his butt kicked by most men in society.
Lance Armstrong with one testicle.
Pretty much. Yes.
Well, this is, well, and we're using the term loosely, testicle, whatever. And Lance Armstrong beat them, meaning if they were all natural, he would have blown them away.
That's
The problem
hilarious,
is he
Dr.
destroyed people's lives for
He did.
saying the jerks.
Yeah, he should have just been like, yeah.
Let's pull up that old interview with I don't know. If
Well, I'm missing all the juicy stuff, I guess. I just keep hearing about it.
End with that, where he was interviewed, where he said, a guy like Lance Armstrong, he took steroids and gave himself cancer. And they asked him on the show about that comment. He said, Lance, people have been saying this. I'm trained at the Nike training facility with Lance. I've never said anything about Lance. You won't find that clip. I never said it. It's a lie. And that's all I have to say about it. And then they play the clip, and it's like, okay, we found the clip. Lance Armstrong took steroids and gave himself cancer. He stepped back and chilled us. Is this a joke? You think that sounds like me? It sounds like he's Mexican or something. Are you serious right now?
He just carried through.
I'm sure we can find that. We can end on that clip. But right now, let's play Hipster Hobo. Okay, so the rules are we will be shown someone, a close-up picture, and then we have to determine, we have to vote whether we think it's a hipster, whether it's a hobo. That's right. And then you'll give us the answer, right?
We can't say why because I tend to do that.
You do.
Yeah, you can't say why.
We can say why after. All right. So the first one, let's see.
Number one.
No. Right, okay. I think it would zero with him. It doesn't look like be a Midwestern.
I'm going to hipster. Hipster.
Sir.
I am going to say hobo, and I will tell you, now we can justify it. The reason that I think it's a hobo is because of the dirt, as it comes out of my mouth, I realize this doesn't apply. The dirty shoulder of the jacket, but that could also just as easily be a hipster.
You're wrong.
I'm going to say demographics because he's older, so I would say hobo. Because old men generally have more self-respect than to be hipster.
No. He's going to be one of those cool hipsters.
You think he's one of those old guys?
Yeah.
Hello, fellow kids.
Well, yes, because Flower Power came when he was just a little bit old, but he was still just in that age group where he could do it, and so he's just through.
Okay, so I say hobo. Pop Strider says hobo.
I said hobo because I don't think he has teeth behind his lips.
I'm just curious.
Scarf and cap, so
It's true.
he could be throwing me off the scent.
Well,
But I say toothless means
I bet you in the future hipsters will not have teeth because, like, just like with the fixed gear bicycle, they're probably reverting back to horsehair toothbrush. Look at it's way back.
the floss.
You know what? One thing, let me just talk. The paleo diet, and I'm now sort of gone to the carnivore diet. Can anyone actually make the argument that all societies ate one specific way? I mean, think about it. People who live on the coast, they probably ate more seafood. People who lived in the plains, they probably ate more produce, or they probably ate more ruminant meats, right? This idea that everyone throughout human history, until the last couple hundred years or a few thousand years, ate one specific way, and that's how you're going to frame your diet today, is silly. I agree with the idea of getting rid of a lot of processed modern crap. But then, I don't eat that. What? Why don't you eat? I don't eat oats because my Paleolithic ancestors would have shunned it. Okay.
They would have eaten anything in the winter.
Yes, exactly.
Once you get and you move to get it,
Well, you'll get these people now like the carnivore.
Go to where it is.
And by the way, I think there's something to be said for the carnivore diet, an elimination diet, doing beef. I eat primarily red meat, and then I eat like fruit and stuff. And I try not to eat a lot of crap just because I feel better that way. But you'll have these people who are like, I'm a carnivore diet. Really? Yeah, all I eat is because that's people back in the day, they didn't eat anything other than the liver, and they ate the meat. And then you go, okay, well, what about honey? Like, anytime they found honey, they gobbled it up immediately anywhere. Across all, it's one thing across all cultures that honey is delicious.
It's a miracle food.
Like, yeah, but there's fructose in your process in your liver. Get the hell out of here. All right.
so stealing all the joy.
You say hobo, I say hobo, you say hipster. All right. Give us the answer, Toolman.
Yes. That one is a hobo.
No!
You guys are missing a great song. That's the thing.
Don't talk over the song.
It's beautiful lyrics and a great melody.
It's horrible.
Hobo.
But it's
That was can you just show me the picture? Yes.
He doesn't play a hobo.
Well, you spent it on math.
Yeah, he wanders
still
into
homeless.
movie sets.
Yeah.
He literally wanders into movie sets. That's
Yeah.
his story.
He has a $500 million portfolio.
We're not going
Scroll
into
all the way.
deeper. We're not going to explore the depths of this. And
He's the only railway hobo with a song.
They would make him join. Yes, they would.
Mr. Hobo, you can't keep taking work from these hard-working professional background artists. Okay, we'll pay you in math. Good for me!
I'm going to go defecate on my bar.
Yes.
Back to first.
This MC universe needs a little texture. Nailed it. Ultron complete. It is gross. All right, let's grab the next one. So, Pop Sprout and I have 1, Gerald 0. Number 2. All right, well, okay. Here's the thing. This is not fair because a hipster can also be a hobo. There are hobo hipsters. I feel like this would be crossed with, when Aquaman appears in Justice League.
That's fucking hilarious.
These are hipsters.
Is it hipster? Pop Sprout.
That was a bad. What movie was that?
Eye makeup, so yeah, I would say.
Grinder or Grindhouse?
Artist slapping some guy liner on him every now and then. No, so we all say hipster. You say hipster. You say hipster. I think hipster, but the giant knapsack makes all this hipster. So you know what? I'm going to go different, even though I'm probably
What giant knapsack?
that giant knapsack. Unless, hold on a second. Go back to that picture.
That's that person.
On the left. That's a person. That's a person. What's a back of a person? What's a back of a person? That's a huge bitch.
I'm only laughing.
down here, right?
Initially, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, there's.
Does it say in the show? Misfits?
I can't tell. But there are legs to the right.
Love something and then hate something. Love something. Love music.
Love misery. Music is
Is it briskets? Is that homo love briskets?
There's a safety. Good catch, Steve. There's a safety pin there.
Yeah,
the patch.
Which again, not quite hipster. They would do like
so they could be homeless pumpers.
It could be homeless pumpers.
That's fair. All right, I'm going to go with that.
And by the way, what makes me think hipster is nowhere in nature goes around. But they would be hipsters.
Yeah, as a mod in his chat last night, I kept saying, because everybody kept asking him what brand radar detector he has. I said that radar detector is absolutely useless. It's a useless noisemaker. Because by the time it goes off, most of the time you're caught. I mean, most of them use laser anyway.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think they are the most.
It's like, dude, the best thing you have to use is like Waze, which actually, you know, where people tell you where the cops are. It's like, well, everybody has their own opinion. Well, dude, it's fucking annoying. It goes off constantly. And certain gas stations. Just thought it was so.
Next one, hipster. All right, okay.
You can't even hear his scanner over that stupid thing half the time.
He's great. He's both a hipster and hobo. Hollywood. I mean, yes, he's
Academy Award nominated actor.
He has.
I'm going hobo. I'm going whatever they classified him. It's going to be hobo.
He has an infinity pool, Gerald.
Some hobos are better off than others, Stephen. Some are in 100 movies.
Let's see what the system tells us it is.
From Hottest Man Alive to
Just combined different plaids. You know, it's like combined plaid, shirt with different plaid pants on. I'm walking Madras.
He doesn't have to care.
No,
wait.
He does.
Was he the hottest man alive? When was he?
Oh, hey, find a photo of him.
Yeah, but Waze works up there.
Really?
Yeah.
He let himself go, huh?
I didn't know they were illegal. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can find a picture of it. So everyone gets points. Gerald's 1 point on.
How would that? No, that's not.
All right. Well, it's not really fair because it's cultural differences. I almost look like in Japan.
It's bow.
How do you know it's Japanese?
I just assumed.
Hipster or homeless.
Fair assessment. Ouch! You didn't even say
It's bow.
Elon Musk.
So homeless.
Here's the thing. I assume Japanese because of the hip hair, and he has that glare, that intense glare.
Yes.
As opposed to the light of the sun. Right. Yeah.
Vietnamese.
And he smoked cigarettes.
less of a round.
And they all smoke cigarettes over there. They smoke a lot of cigarettes. So I'm going to say that is a Japanese.
I haven't
hipster, but it
fucked
could
one in
also
forever.
be a Japanese.
I think.
Yeah, I say it's a hipster. The Japanese hipster.
That is a quaff right there. That's intentional.
Yeah, if I'm going to get screwed out of points, I'm going to do it.
This guy put some pomade in his hair too. That's a $75.
He's a fop.
Hair.
Yes.
I don't know how to convert it to yen, but let's see. I'm sure.
Yes, that one is a hobo, you see. He lives in a box, he smells like pee.
Chinese. What? He's Chinese.
He's Chinese.
He looked like Ryu.
Well, I think he's turning Japanese.
We got the picture of Nick Nolte from Rich Man, Poor Man. Here you go.
Come on. Smoldering. That is.
All right, well, it's a good-looking dude.
That was a good-looking dude.
In a weird way.
For years and years of alcohol abuse. He's an alcoholic. He's a functional alcoholic, but he's an alcoholic. From what I understand.
Did you ever see him down and out in Beverly Hills?
No, I
He's
saw
an actual hobo in that.
Above the rim. Point break.
Was it you and I who watched Blue Chips?
Oh, that was Blue Chips, not
That was Blue. I think was it you and I who watched it? Or me and Johnny, where we were watched this thing. They just said, Nick Nolte, here's a script, but you know what? Just go be Nick, whatever. Pretty much. He just yells at all.
He's not a coach at all. He doesn't know basketball.
In there yelling, like, you're not focusing on the game because you're too busy buying rubbers to bang your groupies afterward. You son of a bitch.
I'm Shaquille O'Neal.
I don't care what your name is.
Well, Brian knows him. He says good things.
Oh, let's hit the brakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not even doing the speed limit, but let's hit the brakes. Yeah, that side sucks. I know why you're not there in that lane, but you gotta at least do the speed limit in this lane, asshat.
You do this to setting us up here.
I know. There's no winning.
Putting dandruff in the hair now. It's a style thing.
Is the collar popped?
Yes, it is.
Well, it doesn't mean that just because you're a hobo doesn't mean you can't put in a little bit of effort. You can still be a hobo.
I think he's a hobo, but I kind of have a hunch like that this is going to fade out and it's him getting into his Ferrari.
Just the next car's around him.
Yes. So I'm going hobo.
Is that a hearing aid on his ear, or is that like gangrene?
That would determine a lot.
What is that? That's hair?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's hair going down into his ear, growing out of his ear. I have no idea. All right. Because of the ear hair, I'm going to say hobo. All right, Toolman, let us know. You just walked across the street and you bought a pack of cigarettes and then you walked back. Look at him. Just looking. He had gross hair growing out of his ears. But he's off. You're black. Yeah. No, he's not supposed to be here in Gramercy. All right, you've been playing along in the chat. I don't know who won, but I'm sure someone out there got a perfect score. Of course, I win again, and I'll share it with Pops Crowder too.
No,
Dead last. That has been Hipster or Hobo.
No. By the way, I want to go back to the Miller Lite story about putting people in bikinis. Did you see that Martha Stewart put herself in a bikini?
I heard about that. I didn't see it. Still have eyes.
Illustrated swimsuit edition. They're fine covering that on CNN, by the way, and showing
age is just a number
in bikinis.
A number of wrinkles.
Martha Stewart than a trans.
Actually, honestly, she doesn't look that bad.
No,
she's not really in the
No, and that's fine. She's supposed to be, what is she, 80 now? 81
They
years
tease
old?
it. They're like, yeah, Martha Stewart's going to be in a bikini. Really? Yeah, and she'll be covered in a tarp.
Piggy.
All right. Should have led with that.
They're negotiating with her manager how much of that they could show during the
No, I mean, good for her, but it's this double standard thing that we're talking about. They're like decrying hot women in bikinis, for selling beer apparently, and then they're putting Martha Stewart in a bikini in an issue that basically just puts attractive women in bikinis.
Well, most 82-year-old women go to the lake house beach with a Cruella de Vil shawl.
Do they really?
Look, I don't care if they want to do that. Good for her, but at least she's a real woman. Yeah. And she's no longer in. What was that thing she's wearing? That's not orange, is it?
Again, it's like a raincoat.
I think it is orange.
Really gonna put the broad in orange who did time? Come on.
No, they didn't say they didn't say bikini. They said bathing swimsuit.
Yeah. She's wearing a nice one piece. Yeah. Which, by the way, men used to wear. They used to wear singlets.
Did they?
And they also would do calisthenics.
Gay.
Toe touch.
I remember seeing those. Yeah.
That's how you build muscle, son.
Well, it's better than what we saw the guy in the Florida hotel. You remember that when you were like,
"Oh my God, John!" The guy was in a G-string.
Yes.
And it was the weirdest thing because it was a square G-string. It was square in front and square in the back, and square down. It just disappeared between two thighs that just had a crack. It looked like a naked N64 character. It was polygon. It was disgusting.
So bad.
You saw it.
Yes, I did.
But it was a weird body type. It was just a cube with a G-string.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
It was like Minecraft G-string.
Well, you bought a singlet once in a church. You were asked to leave.
Yes, I did, as part of the sketch, because we were supposed to be old-timey strongmen, and members of the church said, we think that's revealing.
Well, it was.
We were in a wrestling singlet.
It was because the didn't do package management.
But tell them how it ended.
Yeah, so it ended, this is true, this is one of the biggest churches in the country. This is
power team.
Teams Powers, which, by the way, of course, this is actually where Jean-Guy Tremblay and his brother, half brother, Pierre Archambault, would do Teams Powers. They would do ministry work. And they had these singlets, and this one church said, well, you know what, actually, it's offensive because, unfortunately, we see your bulge. And look, I can't, it's just the way God made me. So, we said, oh, it's the bulge that's offensive. It's the outline. We'll fix that. And we put in the largest cups we could find.
MMA cups.
I think I had an old steel tie cup. And they're like, that's so much worse. We said, this is what you asked for. And we went out and we performed anyway.
Your profile was really offensive.
Well, the same thing happened when we did the Epstein thing. There was a church gym where we went, and they were like, you can't wear that. I told them I'm coming in an old man wrestling suit, which, by the way, goes all the way down to the knees.
It does, yes.
It goes all the way down to the knees.
It's very tight. I don't think the link is what they had a problem with, Steven.
People wear tights at football, and people wear tights
this
at
idiot.
wrestling meet. This is less
Instead of getting behind them with some lights.
Some people are complaining. But this is titillating.
You're in the fucking road.
This is clearly not meant to be erotic.
What a Steven Crowder's juicy balls!
It didn't help that I had him as my hype man. Be faster on the draw and getting rid of career appointees.
Yeah.
He needs to be better at having people around him who make better decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I would say. That's the most important thing. And right away, he needs to get in, and he needs to take it to the intelligence agencies. He needs to take it to the institutions who've clearly trained him out of there. It needs to happen in broad daylight for the whole world to see.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has to worry. Not at that point.
No, I don't think so.
He's done caring.
Yeah, and it needs to be as open and transparent a process as possible because they need to see this not as a political hit job, going after your rivals, but cleaning house.
Yes,
it needs to be as pure as possible.
Right. Yeah, it needs to be just consequences.
Yeah,
your actions have consequences. All right, next check.
From B. William B77, question for Crowder. Since American beers are going woke, would you recommend Canadian beer instead? Or is it only for hosers? If you do you have a recommendation?
Oh, Gerald and I do.
Well, here's the problem is I think that Molson is Molson Miller or Molson Coors.
Molson Coors.
So it's Molson Coors. And isn't Miller a part of Molson Coors?
Yeah, hoser.
So Miller, Molson Coors are all under one, and Labatt, I do believe, is actually under Budweiser.
Yeah.
So Labatt and then Molson, these are part of the woke companies. Look, I don't know enough about Canadian. I think there are plenty of options. You don't have to get Canadian beer. You can just look Budweiser, Miller, Coors. You'll either have Yuengling. If you're in Texas, you want something that's sort of watery like that, you can grab Shinerbach. I think Lone Star, if you want that kind of an what?
Blood and Honey by Revolver.
Actually, Revolver's owned by Molson Coors.
Who is?
Revolver.
No.
You want a beer like Coors or whatever? It's a light.
For your own consumer practice. Know the farm where your food is coming from, because organic is small local farms, right? Who they know exactly where the meat is coming from, regardless of a USDA label, in case someone treated the fence posts with the wrong kind of a varnish, and that is actually true. We did a report on that a long time ago. Same thing with beer. There are a lot of local breweries, and there are a lot of breweries by the way, that aren't even necessarily local. Yuengling's an easy one. If you're somewhere where Yuengling is, it's the oldest brewery in the United States. Otherwise, just find something. If you want a light beer like that, find a light lager, find a local lager. You'll probably enjoy it. Or, experiment and try some new beers. It doesn't mean, not every craft beer has to be an ultra soapy, extra dry, hoppy IPA, like that trend that we saw a few years ago.
Hoppy, crappy IPA.
And you put more hops. And you can actually buy beer from Trappist Monks. You can. There's Westmalle. I don't know if it's Chimay, Duvel. There are a bunch of beers that are actually brewed by monks to this day. So consider it an opportunity, or you can also find something that is right in line with the bum piss that you drink from a company that doesn't actively hate you. There is more selection than ever. There are mites in the bum piss. Yes, there are mites in the bum piss.
But Gerald, I'm not really a beer drinker, but Gerald and I both like that Unibrew. Fan de Mones that comes out of Quebec.
Yeah, that is.
It's like moonshine.
I don't know what the political affiliations are.
No.
No, I mean, you're not. That was when I laughed at the question. They're like, if you're trying to go to like more of a freedom beer, Canada, and I'm like, what? That's what? Canada? Like, are you serious? I know what their point was though, but yeah, Unibrew, that stuff is amazing, almost top to bottom. There's one or two that I don't love because they're a little bit more. They have a little higher IBU, right? So
yeah.
I don't like hot.
No, they don't have many. They have
just like one, for sure that is, and I'm like, not my thing.
And there's actually, you know what I will say, you can't get it in Texas because of their rules with what's it called, licensing with alcohol. So, like for example, you can't get the Kirkland brand.
I got to be in the mood
for some reason, and you can't get a Trader Joe's. There's a lager, which is almost more like a malt liquor because there's no hoppiness to it all, and then there's a pilsner. It's called Simpler Times, and that's just like a lot of craft whiskey comes from MGP in Indiana. It comes from a brewer, I believe, in Wisconsin, maybe in Minnesota, where they do this licensing for a lot of other sort of private label companies. And if you're looking for something that's in line with that, but I would argue better, Simpler Times. It used to be $2.99 a six-pack. It might be up to $4.99 now, but it's pretty good actually, and certainly better than Budweiser. And at the very least, they're not open about actively supporting agendas that you hate. And we did a series of commercials a long time ago for Simpler Times, which we submitted, and they very promptly rejected. It was something like, I missed it. It was black and white, and I missed the days. You slap your secretary on the ass and tell her she did a good job. Simpler Times was every single time was something wholly offensive from the 50s, and had the hero shot of them. Simpler Times can on ice. And my brother and I did it, and they said, we want absolutely nothing to do with this. And we said, well, we'll hold it in reserve, but we may run it anyway. So I do.
Squirrel, don't die! Thank
Trader
you.
Joe's, if you have one, if you're in a state where they have those are pretty good. Otherwise, just go to your local. There's so many good local places. It's not hard.
They must have had the prisoners out on this road.
It's the easiest boycott ever.
All the garbage bags.
It's the easiest boycott ever. It's a lot easier than Coca-Cola, right? If you're like, I gotta go to Pepsi. There are only so many alternatives. It's a very, very easy boycott. It's also
community service.
Your own beer, tool and brew versus own beer at home, and it's not that hard. I brewed my own cider, and that's even easier.
Yeah, very easy.
Yeah, I would do with tart cherry concentrate. And you just put it in there and it ferments and you end up with a nice cherry cider. It's not that hard to do mead at home, to do cider at home. If you have something that has sugar in there and you have a yeast, right, it'll eat up the sugar, it'll ferment it, and it'll become alcohol. So it's not hard to do at home. You can homebrew, or there are plenty of alternatives. Buy it on coffee. You do? Wait, you mean you roast your own coffee?
No, I brew my own coffee.
Yeah, well, yes. One does.
You're in prison.
Yeah, I know.
I can do that. Okay, it's really easy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to make. If you really can do it in your toilet in prison. And that stuff, boy, I will tell you this.
You don't want to drink that.
No, I get a hangover when I drink too much prison toilet wine. Man, I know they say alcohol is alcohol, but there's something in prison toilet wine that just gives me an immediate kind of headache, but allows a very I don't sleep well after prison toilet.
It works as well. It's weird.
Largely.
Yeah.
All right, final check.
Definitely just chilling.
Question for the crew. Do you think we're seeing the start of a spiritual revolution in the country with the growing popularity of Christian films and series like The Chosen and Jesus Revolution?
Dry humor.
Bad, and a lot of people pick it apart because a lot of the actors aren't Christians.
Gerald.
Again, they're hiring the best actors for these jobs, and some of them are Christians. And we lived through a lot of.
Not to say that the message is wrong. It's
Correct.
It's the packaging. It's
Well,
just,
but that's what people in the Christian community, and I've talked about this before, like I switched from rap in the 90s, literally from one day to the next, to Christian music, and it was mostly like Sandy Patty. It was right at the beginning of like Jars of Clay and some of these other bands that were coming out that weren't bad, still a little Christianese in kind of the music before they really evolved into something different like they are today. Like the art is much better today than it was back then, but movies just haven't seemed to evolve very quickly for Christian. I mean, anytime Hollywood gets a hold of a subject like, the one with Russell Crowe, where he's Noah, right? I can't remember the name of the movie.
Oh yeah, that was done by Aronofsky's.
It was just really bad. It was just Noah.
You mean the film Noah?
oh yeah.
No, well, the other one.
The name escapes you?
The other one is the Gods and Kings. I can't remember.
Oh, that was Christian Bale.
There's Bale, but I can't remember the first name. Exodus Gods and Kings. Something Yahweh, I don't know. So no, they just take them and completely bastardize them and make them into horrible films. And I'm like, there's blockbusters laying here. Are you there?
Yeah, and I don't think. Look, for that are made by Christians that will never be. And this is the problem too, right? And I sat down with actually
sheriffs all over the place.
Same church that we got in trouble for. But actually, no, the pastors were fine. It was the elders who were. The pastor was the guy was pretty cool. Yeah. Sat down with my brother, a pastor of this big church. They had the funding, and someone who is now in charge of one of the biggest conservative companies in existence. And we said, okay, we're going to create this Christian film. And we sat down and wrote a drink. It was actually for a Christmas film, but an actual Christmas film where basically kind of turned it on its head. Where there was a cool bachelor in New York City who,
for sure,
would want to have his life, and his brother decided to live in Connecticut and he had a family. And it starts off where
I just keep my knife in my pocket.
Genuinely, you have to make the audience feel envious of the guy who's living the single life.
If I have it out, it's too ready.
And then he realizes that his life is pretty hollow, and that Christians
keep it in the yellow.
It's a film to try and show people.
Keep it in the yellow.
You spend your whole life chasing the wrong thing, and we knew that there would be some Christian pushback because we have to make the audience envious of this man's lifestyle.
Right.
You have to look and go like, oh my gosh, this guy's with a new woman every night. Oh, right. There's got to be buy-in. Where you're going, oh, I've been married for 20 years, and that looks great until you realize that it all sort of self-destructs and there's quiet moments. We expected that pushback, but the other people we were going to partner with, who, like I said, remain in charge of some of these big conservative companies, said, no, we don't want that. Give me Christian Hoosiers because that's how you sell the Bible study. That's what we were told. And to the church's credit, they walked away. And it left us with a really bad taste in our mouth. So hold on a second, we're not looking to just part Christians with their money. We're looking to create something that's actually worthwhile, to create art. I mean, look, this is one thing that I think Christians get wrong a lot of the time. Netflix or whatever else you see in the theaters or on Hulu and Amazon, we bitch about it, Disney, or it has to be all Christian all the time.
Right. Yeah.
If you're an artist, if you're a painter, you know how you glorify God? Paint to the best of your abilities. If you're a singer, sing to the best of your abilities. If you're a music composer, compose to the best of your abilities. If you're an actor, act to the best of your abilities. Now you have some guardrails as to what you do and what you won't do. And some of the paintings can be Christian oriented. Some of the songs can be praise and worship, but they don't all have to be. And that's some place where we find ourselves, where a lot of people like, okay, church on one hand, on the other, and we'll get people come up often, pastors, and yeah, we watch your show, but I have to be careful because I don't want people in the church knowing and go, really? You mean the same people who are tuned in now to what's the recent show on Netflix? I forgot. Not just Ozark. You mean the same people who have subscriptions to HBO? We're open about our flaws. Not everything on here is a Christian message, but we're all pretty open about our Christian perspectives. And if you want to tune into something that is more specifically tailored to Christian theology, well, Gerald gives that to you too, because that's his specialty. So I think Christians sometimes, unfortunately, create a very limited purview that content creators think they need to fit into. And then often Christians complain that it all feels the same. Well, again, this is why you have to be responsible for your consumer behaviors, right? You have to make sure that if there's something out there, it's a great example of a film that Christians should have flocked to, Warrior. With Nick Nolte and with, think about it, this was before they were big. Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, and the problem is there are a few minor cuss words. They use the Lord's name in vain because some of them are Irish Catholics. But if you read, there's a strong message of faith and family in there. But Christians like, it doesn't have the Christian label, because there are people who say, no, give me Christian Hoosiers, give me Fireproof, because that's how you sell the Bible study. And I think you need to differentiate. We all do need to differentiate between, people who are creating content who share our values versus people in an industry who are looking to separate us as Christians from our money. Not all of them are, but some of them are. And if you feel like the content is sort of boilerplate, all right, let's just toss this straight down the middle, this is going to be right on the nose, and you want something different, then you need to focus on supporting people who are creating content that share your values, whether that's a bonk you over the head with a Christian mallet or not. We need to have all of the above. I'm saying many voices, not only one. We will see you tomorrow, and we have Nick DiPaolo on the show, I think, Thursday. Love you.
Show has ended.
Oh, it's going to be 1517 Stewart's. 1517 Stewart's. Between Park West and Telegraph. Apartment number 148. Checking the well-being of Shirley Volk at that location. A cancer patient. Supposed to be her lines removed for the last couple of days and she has not been seen. There's a TX in the note for her nurse. You call her and coordinate with her. She'll meet you there.
Wait, wouldn't her nurse just go check on her? That's so stupid. Do they know this lady's dead? It seems really weird. There's a phone number for her nurse. Why doesn't her nurse go check on her? If she's dead, you call the funeral home. If she's a cancer patient. It's like a waste.
Central 5891 security.
19 secure. I'm clear for this venue. I'm going to be typing on this for a few minutes.
Good.
Oh, cool. Thanks, buddy. No, I don't. Central Time Zone cuts through the middle of Indiana. Right down the middle of Lake Michigan. So, same time.
No vehicles are in the roadway. Can you give them a call and see where they parked? Clear, stand by. Clear, AC5.
All right. Time to get to work. I'm not. Got a bunch coming in today too. Everybody have a good day. Thank you for riding with me. Peace.